Over the last few years, hundreds of people have died taking selfies. Yes, I repeat, the harmless thing we do with our camera, people have died while taking selfies. That is, they go to the dangerous spots in view of getting more likes, more comments, more followers. What they are doing is they are trying to go to the edge of cliffs, walk on dangerous places, do harmful stunts, and while taking selfies, they lose their life. And the country which is topping this list is our very own country, India. How did we let this alarming thing to happen? Let's see it in today's video. In a study by the Barber law firm, they have said that India accounts for nearly 42.1% of the total selfie related deaths. That is, there have been 271 selfie related incidents in India from 2014 to 2024, of which 214 people have died and there have been 57 severely injured cases. In USA there have been 42 cases, in Russia there have been 19, but you should look at the number in India. It is staggeringly high. This is not a story of a person who's dead. This is a story of a family is shattered because this person was trying to get a selfie to get more likes, comments or subscribers. You have to understand, for searching something so mediocre, we are losing families and families are left broken because of it. Now let us take some frightening examples in this. We are not taking any identity in this because these people have deceased and we have to respect the dead. The first person went to a national park in India. There were warning signs there put that you should not go near the animals and there were fences there. But he went so close to the animal just to take a close up with the elephant. Now what happened was the elephant became agitated. It threw him into the air and the person succumbed to his injuries. Now everybody will start blaming the elephant that the elephant was agitated and the human being's life was at risk. But you have to understand that these are animals. Animals don't know what you're holding in your hand. They might think it's a camera. No, they will think it's a weapon you're trying to attack it with. So they would have got agitated and they would have done this. I'm not rationalizing what the animal did, but you have to understand that these are animal instincts and we cannot be in line saying that the animal is at fault. We are not also saying that the human being is at fault. We are just saying that we need not give these opportunities where we go into this line of sight of these animals in search of a very beautiful photograph, put lives at risk. Now the second example happened in the Regat Fort in Maharashtra. Here an individual who was a 27-year-old went to the tip of the cliff just to take a good photo, but what happened was the person fell about 300 feet down and succumbed to injuries immediately. Another example is this Bandra Worli Sea Link in Mumbai has a beautiful bridge with a scenic view, but there have been a handful of dead people trying to stand at the edge of this bridge and trying to take pictures. These are all dangerous precedents that in search of seeing reels with lot of likes, comments, we are also trying to get that, and eventually we are losing our lives in this. This is alarming and it has to be stopped. Why is this happening more commonly in India? We Indians are fond of cameras. Even I like taking pictures with camera, but there is a line which we should not cross. In 2014, global statistics show that there were around 200 million people in India who had smartphones. Today, the count is 800 million. That is, you have a smartphone which gives you a picture which is equivalent to what a DSLR gives, with easy access to data, which provides you with a real time access to internet that you can go to a spot, take a picture and immediately upload it and show that you have done something wonderful, exquisite, and you have gone to a place which nobody has gone. And we are doing all this for what? More likes, more subscribers, more comments. But what it is all going to give? Why are we chasing all this? One is for social approval. The second thing is we are seeing other social media influencers who are going to these exquisite spots, taking these pictures. Now from a humble background they come, seeing all this, they get brand promotions, their income level increases, their lifestyle increases, hotels call them to promote them. Seeing all this, we also want to do it, and in search of that we are ending up losing our life, and this is very alarming. And on the psychological front, there is a disorder called as the social approval disorder. What they say is, seeing everybody going to these exquisite spots where they go to a cliff with beautiful view, with waterfalls, we also want to go there and take pictures there to take the society's approval that we are also doing something cool. But I'm not saying it is wrong to seek society's approval or anything, but there is a line. You should not go there and perform something dangerous, because when you lose your life, there is 100 people who are affected because of it. Search of likes and comments, losing life is definitely not practical. In the Indian Railways, that statistics are even more alarming. People say that hundreds of people die searching for train selfies. That too, people go in groups, they dare each other, see the train is just coming, I'm taking a selfie. Now, I challenge you to do the same, and people trying to do all that end up losing their life, and all for what? Just for social approval. This is definitely not good, and the global statistics are showing that we are falling behind in the most basic things, where we are losing our life in search for a selfie. India is a place with beautiful scenic spots. For example, the Western Ghats in India is second to none. There are cliffs present there. From there you get the exquisite views, especially during monsoon. I've been to a handful of these places and the views are second to none. But what I've realized in these places is there is no safety bearings. They don't say that this place is dangerous. If you fall, it's very difficult to recover you also. And because of that, people unknowing of this, seeing these beautiful spots in reels, they go there and they go to the edge of the cliffs to take photos, and it ends up being very dangerous. The second thing is the railway lines in India are more than 12,000 kilometers. It is difficult to put a barricade there. But what people are doing is they are going and standing on the railway track, waiting for the train to come. In the last minute, they move out. We see reels getting millions of views, and people try to imitate that. Some people try to lie and such that the train goes over them and they are unaffected. Once the train goes, they stand up. Seeing millions of views, people are following this, and because of which, sometimes it don't go according to plan and they end up losing their life. This is very dangerous. The third thing is we are seeing India having a big coastline. In coastline, what will be there? The sea comes and ends there. There's a lot of waves. These waves are beautiful. In going to take photos in these waves, we are doing dangerously close to the ocean. You have to understand, when these high tides come, they suck back the person with the same magnitude when the waves return back to the sea. So while taking photo in these high tides, people are getting sucked in that. Also, if you take for an example, in the Ganges river, when people go there, people are not mindful of the undercurrents which are present in these rivers. They go there and they start swimming thinking that the water is calm, but nobody sees the undercurrents present. There is a case where a family of 5 were washed away by these undercurrents, and the rest of the family were helplessly watching them getting washed away. These are dangerous scenes, and it has to be stopped, and the government must intervene, and it is high time for it to do it. It's not like the government has not taken any action. The government has taken action. In 2018, the Maharashtra government put 16 no selfie points in these cliffs, and they told that these points photography is not allowed and don't take photos there. They even put points where you can take safe selfies, and they painted and placed these markers in these cliff areas, and they had put safety rails also. But over the years, the paint faded, and everywhere they just step and cross the line and start taking photos. The public also has to be responsible. They have to understand that these are dangerous spots and we must not go there, because one step wrong, just 1 foot wrong, and you reach a point where you cannot be saved. The railways have also tried to put pressure sensors on the rail track, such that if anybody walks on it, they'll be warned using loudspeakers. This pilot program reduced the incidents by 40% in just 4 weeks, but this is something which has to cover full India, which is 12,000 kilometers of railway lines, which is literally impossible because this is budgetary constraints are there. This will require huge amount of money and manpower to do it, and it is impossible to do it. So the public have to be more responsible and understand these are dangerous. You must not do it. There is a line which you should not cross, and that has to be followed seriously. The Karnataka government also put a photo of a person trying to take a selfie and falling down a cliff, and you should see that they had put the line also, your profile can wait but your life cannot. But the sad irony is, the same place where this ad was filmed, 2 people lost their lives. You have to understand that sometimes it is a responsibility of the public also to understand that these are all dangerous spots and we must not go there. Of course, go there, but don't go to the point where you're going to slip and fall. Go enjoy the spot, have a good time there, and come back. Why do you have to cross the line and fall and cause harm to yourself and for the people who love you? Psychiatrists tell me that there is a vicious cycle to it. You take a very nice photo. That is, you're standing at the edge of the cliff, you've taken a selfie, you have defied death. You get millions of likes, millions of views, and you get social validation, you get a lot of friends. There is a dopamine rush in your brain. Now, this fame is very transient. It is going to be there for a week, maximum 2 weeks, and everybody is going to eventually forget it. But you are used to this dopamine rush in your brain. You want it again. So you will start doing more dangerous stunts to get the same validation, same likes, such that your views increase, your subscriber count increase, you get more brand promotions, and you get rich. But in this, you're crossing the line of safety, and it is going to be a very short time where you're going to do something which is going to take your life. So you have to be more careful when you're doing all this. This incidence is not restricted to only cities alone. In villages also it is happening, and there is an alarming rise in the incidence. Take for example a case in Jharkhand where a 19-year-old girl tried to take a selfie by climbing a ladder to get a good view of the sunset in her village. Now, when she was taking that selfie and recording it as a video, she fell down and her femur broke. Now she has taken this an entire video, like she tried to take the photo, she was treated in hospital for this femur fracture, and this video got millions of like. Now this is setting another dangerous precedent. People will be like, you do death defying stunts and you narrowly escape death. Then what will happen is you will get more views and they will voluntarily start doing all this. But not everything goes according to plan. One day that will take your life. So you have to be more careful. In fact, not do this at all. There are 100 ways to get famous, and this is not the way which you should follow to get. So what can we do to reduce this? Is the question of the hour in everybody's mind. The first thing is, when these smartphones are being sold to the public, they have to come with a warning sticker as take photo responsibly. I know it is a little difficult to do it in all smartphones, but it has to be done because the number of deaths are increasing and we need to stop it before it becomes a national epidemic. So every cell phone which is sold has to come with a warning that take photos responsibly. The second thing is, these tourist organizations who are organizing tour should have tour guides who tell them these are safe selfie spots in this area, these are unsafe selfie spots. In this way, what will happen is the tourists there will at least know that this is unsafe. See, if somebody is not listening to the tourist guide and going there, that we cannot do anything about it. But at least they have to be made aware that there is a cliff down there, this area is dangerous, don't go there. In that way, we can reduce the number of deaths significantly. The third thing is, bring the literacy to the grassroots level. Digital literacy is the need of the hour in our country, because if you start imparting in the mind of school students that these acts are harmful, once they become teenagers they will not do all these stupid acts, because the majority of the deaths which are occurring in this selfie related deaths are in the teenage group, thinking that like, share, subscribe is their entire life. They see their friend becoming famous, they see somebody online becoming famous, and they also want to become like them, doing these dangerous stunts. So teaching them that these are stupid acts and you should not do will definitely reduce the number of deaths. The last thing which we can do is this railway sensory which they were putting before, where these sensors can detect if somebody can walk on the railway tracks and warn them using loudspeakers. Of course it is very expensive, but we can get help from digital platform where these videos are being played. They can fund to raise awareness more, where these track related deaths can reduce. The last thing we can do is something very powerful and the most important thing: do not share these reels. These dangerous stunts should not get more likes, shares, comments, because if more likes, shares, comments, subscribe comes, another person will want to do the same. So what happens is, this becomes a vicious cycle. I also want to do that. No, if I do the same thing, I will not get the same number of likes. I have to do something more dangerous than this. This is becoming a dangerous precedent, and it has to be stopped before it becomes a national epidemic. The stories we hear are very damning, and it calls for action immediately. Immediate awareness programs on these selfie related deaths are the need of the hour. We need to start spreading awareness from the grassroots level, that is in schools. Digital literacy is the need of the hour, because these stories are very damning. The person dies, he doesn't know what is happening to the people who are loving him and who are affected because of him. Take for example a mother who's holding the phone of a child who tried to take a selfie and he fell down to his death. She is keeping the phone as his last memory, saying that this was the last thing my son held and I will keep it in memory of him. This is very emotional. The very device which used to kill him is becoming his last memory. So these things have to be stopped, and we need to take quick action on this. Do like, share and subscribe me for more interesting videos, and please share this video with your friends to spread more awareness on this topic.